Hi everybody, it's Larry. Welcome back to Dad What's for Dinner, and tonight it's chili. Not chili like I had a couple weeks ago, Texas style chili, but this is chili the way that I make it, which is with beans and meat. Basically it's a meat stew. And let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so for the first thing that we're going to start off with, heat up the pot. We are going to brown, and yes, I did say brown, not cook, a pound of Italian sausage and a pound of roast beef. Okay, just regular 80-20 or whatever you desire. You get that browning and cooked. Okay, so in the interest of full disclosure, as I sit here and ponder what I'm doing, I'm thinking that I might be overcrowding that pan. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and brown these separately, and then I'll combine them after they're browned. Otherwise, they won't actually brown, they'll steam. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Those of you that have watched the channel or been around for a while know that I always talk about browning the meat versus cooking, and the best way to get the meat started browning is just to leave it alone. So you want to get a good sear on the bottom side and let that go. Don't need to heat quite that high. And that's the best way to get it started. Okay, so we've gotten to the point where we can start turning our meat. You can see we're starting to get some color on one side, and that's what you want to see. And then we're going to break this up a little bit. I want it kind of chunky because this is going to be in chili after all. And it will break down as it cooks further. And we're going to do the same thing with our sausage. And you can see the color that I'm getting on that sausage. Probably a little better than on beef because I think the contrast is different. So that's what you're looking for. You want the meat to be browned versus cooked. So we're going to go ahead and finish browning off this meat, and we'll get back to it. And at some point while this meat is cooking, you are going to want to season it. I'm using adobo. And I'm probably going to have a lot of Italians being really mad at me, but I'm going to put some adobo in with the sausage as well. For those of you that don't know, adobo is a combination of salt, garlic, pepper, oregano, and turmeric. So, I mean, it has a lot of stuff that I would put in there anyway. So that's one of the reasons that I like to use it. Alrighty. We'll finish cooking off this meat, and then we'll get to the next step. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this off the heat. Now you're going to notice that it's browned but not cooked. This is going to be cooking, and it will cook the meat through, but I don't want to cook it all off in the pan now because the meat will get really tough, and you don't necessarily want that. Well, most people don't want that. So we're going to go ahead and take it off the heat, and then we're going to get ready to do our next step. Okay, so what we're going to do next is cook off the vegetables, and in the same pan, I'm going to put in probably about a tablespoon of oil, and then I'm going to put in my vegetables. Let that oil heat up a little bit. And we're going to start off with one fairly large onion. I mean, you could have two smaller ones, but it's just one that I use. I've also got 2 Poblano peppers. Now, the choice of pepper here is entirely up to you. I mean, depending on your spice tolerance and what you want. Let's see if I can get focused on just the one pan now. I also have 2 bell peppers, and I'm using multicolored because that's what was on sale. And we will cook those off till they're just about softened. Same deal, you want to go ahead and season it. I'm again going to use adobo. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes and the onions and peppers are pretty well softened. I'm going to go ahead at this point, I'm going to add in the garlic. I have 5 cloves here, but I've always considered garlic a seasoning that you season with your heart. However much garlic that you like is what you should put in there. And we're just going to cook that till we start smelling the garlic. And then we're going to start adding in some other things. And that should only take 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, so I'm smelling the garlic now. I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce. And then we're going to add in some tomatoes. Now you know that I can't do something with canned tomatoes without using Rotel. So I'm going to just put in 1 can of Rotel and 1 can of just regular diced tomatoes. Now if you don't like Rotel, feel free to substitute. Just another can of tomatoes. And we're going to give that a good stir. Okay. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and return our meat with any accumulated juices to the pan. And then we're going to add, horrors of horrors, I know, Texan making chili with beans, but I'm going to add a can of pinto, actually 2 cans of pintos, and 2 cans of dark red kidney beans with their juices. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do that. We will give everything a good stir here, get everything well incorporated. Just look at all those beautiful colors. And this is going to feed my family for quite a while. I think some of this is probably going to end up having to go in the freezer because we are a family of 3 and this is a lot of food. But, you know, it's good. Okay, so at this point, we're going to go ahead and season this up a little bit. You can use your favorite, I'm going to put in some chili powder. You can use your favorite brand. I'm not going to show the brand that I'm using, but those of you from Texas probably know the brand just by looking at the shape of the container. Putting in some chili powder, and I'm going to put in some cumin. And again, measuring with your heart. Get that all well incorporated. And I am going to let this simmer until dinner time. It is about 2 o'clock. Dinner time will be about 5 or 6. So it's going to simmer for quite a while. And obviously we're not going to sit here and wait for that, but through the magic of television and YouTube editing, y'all will get to see this in just a minute. Okay, so it's been probably about 8 hours. It was 2 o'clock when we put this in to cook. It's 6 o'clock now, so this has been simmering for 8 hours. I wish y'all could smell this, but you can tell and see how wonderful everything is looking. It smells amazing. I'm going to go ahead and get this plated up and get it ready for dinner. Here we are, all plated up and ready for dinner. This is Dad's chili, or chili the way that I like to make it. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click the like button down below. Would really help me out a lot if you could subscribe to the channel. And, you know, if you like this video a lot, make sure that you share it with your friends. That's all I got for this time, guys. I hope we see you again next time. And until then, take care and God bless. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.